We've asked them to bring in their trendiest item of clothing. So whoever's brought in their nattiest threads will win the first points of the show, and the overall winner of the episode will take home a brand new outfit.
Thank you. Nattiest threads.
Yeah, nattiest threads.
Thank you, Mini Grandad. John, what do we know about your chosen clothes, other than it came from a kid's shop? How are you?
Good. I'm feeling a lot more confident. I've got a lot more self-belief now. So thank you for that. I sort of see myself now as your au pair figure. So I live in your house and I look after your children, and I'm quite nice to look at, quite pretty.
Are you?
Do you think so?
I don't know if this is pejorative or not, but I think you look a little bit like a pipe cleaner.
Get all this shopping into the shopping trolley.
There's a bridge there. Shit. There's a bridge there as well.
Would have seemed totally spontaneous without you informing us you hadn't seen two bridges.
I always thought I was cool under pressure until this series. I think if you watch me closely throughout...
As I have been.
...then you know that I make rash and awful decisions that I feel the need to stick by forever. Like, I'll never go back, even though the decision was terrible.
I mean, Doc did get the job done, right?
He finished in 4 minutes and 24 seconds, which is almost twice as long as Katherine.
But, dude, how did I not see the bridges? That's what...
Did you call me dude? No one has ever called me dude.
I'm deeply troubled by the clip.
Sometimes you don't see bridges. Well, folks, what we've learnt is, no matter what you've done, how long you've lived, or who you know, sometimes you just can't see bridges. John, what is your important document?
My certificate to say that I am a Guinness World Record holder.
Wow!
Whoa! Shit.
Yeah. And what do you hold the world record in?
The highest ever stand-up comedy gig.
On a mountain?
I did a gig on a plane.
I think some people do genuine things to get in the Guinness World Records. I don't think that's a genuine record.
Well,
that's my honest opinion.
Shots fired.
I can't believe we're believing that Joe Wilkinson is married and I'm getting shit.
I can fit a pound coin through my front two teeth.
Yeah?
Not that way out.
That's so you don't get stolen from supermarkets.
Well, thank you, John.
Thank you, Alex.
Team 1, Doc, Katherine and Joe, scored 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I've got a figure in my head of about 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, because you probably internally timed it, you freak.
John also called the cat a dick, and then he called me a dick, just so you know.
Welcome back to Taskmaster, where 4 comedians and Richard Osman, 4 comics and 1 television presenter / producer, fact finder Richard Osman, and quiz show co-host Richard Osman, and frequent guest presenter Richard Osman, and television personality Richard Osman.
Richard was the only one who didn't know any nursery rhymes off the top of his head.
Why don't you know any nursery rhymes? You were born at 32, weren't you? And I really liked Katherine taking control. Sort of sounded like a crazy toddler on Too Many Sweets.
We needed that. We needed that.
You know what? I felt bossy on this task. I didn't like it, but I could feel that time was getting away from us. And the boys were so logical and frustrated that there were no fittings, nothing fit.
Maybe Doc was logical. I mean, I just heard you go, we need to make it higher, and everyone totally ignored you.
I think we were a bit disjointed as a team. We needed Katherine to tell us what to do, basically.
Yeah.
But you know what? It looked like you could build something, but you genuinely had to use gaffer tape and a bossy bitch.
Yeah.
Do you want to see how grumpy Joe got?
Well, did Joe not enjoy the task?
We've isolated
They
Joe.
didn't have the right screws.
This is Joe.
This is going to be horseshit, isn't it? I cannot tell you how disappointed I am with this. Wait, this is nonsense, isn't it? It's some metal, some plastic,
Maybe
and a
this
cloth.
This could be
This could be horseshit. I'm really. I don't know if I'm sort of the only one who thinks this isn't anything. I think it's the core idea that worries me.
We've got Katherine fizzing with ideas.
I just assumed when you played that first clip that you cut out how genuinely pissed off Joe was.
I got so angry. The first second you said everything was horseshit.
I said that for about 7 minutes.
I would have given them 5 full points each, but I'm not going to because Joe was a burden.
I have been called that before.
We've learnt if you want the normally brilliant Richard Osman to do badly, invite his children to the audience. And if you want Joe Wilkinson to do badly, just watch any episode.
And there's 2 people, surprisingly, in first and second. They are Katherine Ryan and then Jon Richardson. There's 4 points separating them. The rest aren't that far behind. So, yeah.
So it literally is anyone's game?
No.
Apart from Joe's?
Yes.
I've had a lovely day.
So far this series, Katherine is in the lead, but both Richard and Jon aren't far behind her. Tonight, it's the penultimate episode, and because I'm in charge of the scoring, this golden trophy is still everyone's to play for. Everyone's, except Joe's.
Highest self-supporting bridge wins. Highest.
The bridge alone must support the potato.
The bridge alone must support the pony.
Does it definitely say pony?
No, potato. I think it would be pony, wouldn't it?
That is the laziest bit of reading I've seen all series. We got to the PO and thought, fuck it, pony, right?
Well, most people would have guessed pony.
Don't have to guess. It's
So, I mean, you've got a sort of inbuilt, broken, predictive text.
I have to admit, I jumped ahead.
Buy a gift for the Taskmaster. You have 20 weeks.
How well do you know the Taskmaster, Joe?
Greg. Never heard of him.
We were supposed to socialise together recently, but he said he was working. So maybe I'll get him a diary so he can plan his time better and not let people down at the last minute.
Excellent. Well, I'll clear something up straight away before we see the gifts, and that is I was supposed to meet Jon recently. We were going to go and watch the darts together in January. Sadly, I genuinely have a work commitment. I wrote to him, profusely apologised, and he didn't reply. So I am glad that I'm not hanging around with passive-aggressive people like you.
Oh, yeah. You're not coming across as passive-aggressive, mate.
Yeah, so you could pick up your chopsticks now if you
Do
want.
you think we should penalise Richard Osman straight away? Because these are like normal-sized chopsticks.
Walk forward. Right, turn right. Oh, go. Oh, no, look, sorry, other way, other way. Turn a bit to your left. Now walk forward. Keep going. Keep going. Turn a little bit to your right. That's it. Now go forward. That's it.
It's interesting to note that seeing Joe with a woolen hat and headphones on shouting loudly in a park didn't seem that out of place. And on my left-hand side is my right-hand man, Alex Horne. How do you do, Alex?
If you mean what do I do general admin. How do I do it? Efficiently and with a great sense of humour. So it's a nice role. It's a nice role for me.
Ah, nice Tinder entry. OK.
What I might do, shall I pump up the boat before I even open up the thing? I could do that. I'm going to look such an idiot when I open this task.
Richard has been the most cerebral, I think it's fair to say, throughout this.
That's not cerebral at all. I'm going to pump up the bed before I know what to do. What do you go out each night with a condom on? Like, it's just...
I went too.
What I was about to say was, of course, it doesn't say anywhere that you need to use the airbed, and it's an airbed, not a boat. So that's...
Well, I'll measure it from the distance from the grass, first of all.
In all great engineering meetings around the world, if the task is bridge, the first building material that the engineers suggest, rubber.
Well, I don't know if you know about this, but I have an education in urban and city planning.
Oh.
And I learned about triangles.
You've got bad A-levels too, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
And
You know
I
when
just
you lost
feel
that
like...
task, Katherine? You lost it in that moment where you said, people aren't ready for how smart I really am.
And what have we learnt today? Well, we've learnt that life can be cruel. One day you're a happily married sporting hero, and the next you're a lonely potato-throwing cheat. With no future.
Put on a pair of food handling gloves, eat a whole banana, correctly put on a tie, and clap as many times as possible. All tasks must be completed within 100 seconds. Most claps wins.
I sense an objection coming from Katherine.
What the?
Thank you. Great reading.
No, I didn't listen to the last bit because this is an example of the type of top-down misogyny that keeps people like me losing.
I don't know how to react to that.
Shut up!
I'll tell you the answer.
Do you not know how to put a tie on? Is that...
No! Let's all put on a tampon, and then we'll see.
OK, this is John's. Do you want to explain what it is, John?
Yes, it's a 3D printout of me.
Whoa!
We do have it here.
Cool.
Oh!
Man.
Yeah, the actual thing's incredible.
Actual size.
This is exactly what it looks like if John's standing next to me.
Oh! Why'd you keep knocking me down?
2 nursery rhyme videos left to see. One from an actual rapper, one from an actual ridiculous man.
Here's Joe Wilkinson's.
Oh, Joe, it's going to be shit, innit, man?
Yeah. There's a danger if I'm too close to the water, people will think I'm a vole and have me destroyed.
And not humanely.
Yeah.
You're a weird man.